Hello everyone, my name's Brett. This is my astrologer friend Cindy Dodge. We're here to bring together something very special for you today. We have a major transfer of planets, I'll let her get to that stuff, but we got a major stuff going on that she will cover, the star alignments and how it's going to affect all of us. So this is all signs. And always take what resonates, leave what doesn't, and apply everything to your situation as it is. But this is going to be exciting. Please like and subscribe for my channel. And we're going to do more of this. So this is new, and we want to share it with everybody. Do all you can, because this is going to be fun. So I'm going to get started and turn this over to Cindy so she can explain this first thing that's going on here on March 7th.
Yeah, so hi everybody, I'm Cindy Davis, and I met Brett a couple of weeks ago, I guess, by fate, and so excited to work with him here today and hopefully going forward in the future. But when we started talking about what we are both trying to accomplish, we were thinking about, how cool it would be to tie tarot in with astrology, because I'm more into astrology and he is obviously into tarot. So and because there's these major, actually next week is going to be a really pivotal point in astrology, because we have Saturn, who is the planet of, well, I kind of like to think of it as like the dad, or somebody once said to me, it's like the principal, right? So it's kind of like we always know within our souls, like what's right and what's wrong. But our egos also want us to just go out and have fun and promote our own egos and do the things the way that we want to do them. So Saturn comes around and it tries to remind you of the lessons that you need to learn in life. So there's two major transitions for Saturn typically in someone's life. Some people are lucky enough and they get to have three, what we call Saturn returns. But the first Saturn return is anyone between like the ages of 28 and 30. And then the second Saturn return is within like age 58 to 60. And then again, what would that be? 88 to 90. So you can see many of us don't make it that long. I sure hope I do. I hope I'm around for my third Saturn return. I actually just went through a Saturn return. So for the last, Saturn stays in a sign for 2.5 years. So it just is coming out of Aquarius, which I am a sun sign Aquarius, and I also had my Saturn return. So for the last 2.5 years, I have been experiencing a lot of the traits that Saturn brings to our lives. And so now Saturn is moving into Pisces. So anybody who is a Pisces, or wherever Pisces falls in your chart, is going to have some activation there. And that activation is going to happen right away here next week when it moves into the sun, or into Pisces. And then it also will activate your chart about every 7 years. So about every 7 years it either squares itself or with other planets, or it opposes them. So those we call like activation times in your life. So I was telling Brett, kind of the funny thing about it is you might think of it as, and you've heard this in conversation or whatever, as a 7-year itch. Well, that's really what the 7-year itch is. It is Saturn coming around and activating your chart. So, today, we're going to talk a little bit about what that means collectively, and how to work with that, because, again, it's going to try to teach you lessons. It's going to feel like it's limiting you. It's going to, like be restrictions on your life. Places where you either need to sit back and reflect, or you need to let something go, or maybe you need to make some changes going forward. So we're going to kind of just talk about that between the two of us and what that means for you collectively, and we're going to pull some tarot and some oracle along the way to help guide us.
All right, thanks for that. It's very exciting times, and I'm already getting chills looking at the cards on the table and the choices that are about to happen. So I'm going to read an oracle card for you. It's my Rumi Love Oracle. And love to me is what drives the world. We're always looking for what we love, looking for the things that drive us and make us happy. We're always striving for that. So I'm going to read a love oracle here. And it's really about experiencing love and all its fascinations here. So we have drawn the card number 23, the star mother Arrakis. 23 is also winding up when Pluto transfers in March. So this could be a sustained message within here. So let's read this now. So star child, earth angel, divine creature. Your star mother keeps an eye on all the wild happenings in the sacred playground of the earth. She will care for you, righteous and true, shining divine justice and protection. No bully shall prevail over you. No bully from within you shall prevail either. No lies, deceit, or injustice shall temper your wild truths. Be demanding and claiming love for you. Learn how to love yourself as she loves you, with wild, unconditional, passionate regard. Be like the child wailing for its mother. Mama, mama, come close. Then she descends. Like a torrential downpour of devotional light, a tsunami of affection is unleashed. A rampaging cosmic tigress hurtles towards you, her claws gripping the fabric of the skies as she rushes to protect her beloved cub. She will fight for you against the forces that will dull you or dumb you down, obscure your brilliance, and stultify your free-form dance into strict choreographed movements. She will pour her luminous essence into every crevice of your demanding soul. Nothing can resist her light. All shall be washed and revived in the outpouring of her luminous love. Then, sated and content, you are the child so secure in the love of the mother. You trust in life's implicities and what is brought to your door. You do not succumb to untruths. You do not resist because you are held safe, held in the love of the mother. You have no need to resist. What is there to resist? Nothing. There is only the loving truth in your world, and all is at peace in your heart. And should there be cause to stand up and fight for love, for freedom, for light, for her truths of unconditional life, respected and honored, well, you shall be particularly equipped for success. Where there is that war to fight, you shall be the warrior who defends the motherland, absolute in your devotion to her ways and empowered through her vast, indefiable, triumphant power. And shall you bludgeon your way with brute force and fear? Of course not. So here's your guidance. Lay down your old weapons, for new technology awaits you. It is the most magnificent of forces that the divine alignment of the surrender to the Star Mother and her way of luminous potency. From her great vantage point, the vastness problems of our early mindsets are merely in need of a quick whipping by the tail of a comet. And then she is, I'm sorry, I lost my spot there. Anyways, and this is easily achieved by flicking a strand of her hair or poking out her tongue. In the hands of the greater being, even your deepest trials will succumb to divine victory. Your ability to take the journey will be strengthened, and your success only a matter of the passing of time. Can you give yourself this gift, this blessing of love, power, and protection of your star heritage? We all descend from the stars, but some of are asked to remember to acknowledge the divine parentage from which we came, and to allow the innate divine dignity within to restore us to faith in the path here on earth. No matter how dark life on earth may seem at times, when we remember our holy heritage, we can also realize, yes, I am blessed. Held as one with the mother who shall not be deterred from greater holy purpose. I shall prevail. I forgot that and feared, but now I remember, and I am determined once more. Then you shall feel joy and be inclined to dance, to sing, to make your art, and to live fearlessly once again.
Wow. Like, we did not plan this. And that card just really resonated with me because of a lot of things that I wanted to talk about today. And so, we just came out of Aquarius, and for any of those that know, Aquarians are in their heads, but their ruling planet is Saturn and Uranus, or Uranus. But they are very structured. They are the establishment. They are building the foundations. They are technology. They are, just work hard, career, goals. Well, as Saturn now moves into Pisces, we're going to move away from focusing so much on that kind of Saturnian Aquarius energy, which is more, the ideas, building the foundation, and we're going to move more into our emotions, because Pisces is a very emotional sign, and they operate from their soul or from their emotions. And so what is the lovers? They're the lovers oracle that we had. That's all about our emotions, right?
Right.
So I think that card really is kind of like sending us off into, finding our own individuality and our own boundaries around our emotions to serve our purposes here.
And that's funny. That just leads into the current situation. So we got Page of Wands as a collective, but it's in the reverse, right? And that's that kind of energy, the blame game. It's the energy of standing in your own way, or those things that are standing in your way. It's taking action here to rebel against that energy that's keeping me, or making me be hostile too, making me feel like this. How do I move forward with this? So. And also in this energy too, it's like aimlessly looking for something. So it's about focusing on what you can achieve and going in that direction, so that we can really be the Page of Wands and start living our heart as it's meant to be, with the passion that is supposed to be there.
Yeah, no kidding. Like, I just keep thinking to myself too, like, wands, I'm not the expert in tarot, but wands that's action, right?
Right.
It's like fire.
Willpower.
They want us to take action, and because it's in reverse, we might feel maybe some blockages in
Right.
that.
Or we just don't have the energy. We're just too lazy to get off our ass and achieve it.
Okay.
We're standing in our own way because we're not willing to put forth the effort when the opportunities are there.
Yeah. So, some questions you might want to ask yourself going into this transition of Saturn and Pisces is, what motivates my compassion?
Right.
Or how am I being triggered right now? It's really, we need to be asking ourselves some serious questions as we move into this Saturn and Pisces.
For sure. And so the current challenge for this March here, for a lot of you, we've got the Queen of Swords here. Searching for truth here. This is air and water. That's kind of crazy. Aquarius and Pisces energy here too, linking together too. I always think of air as my thoughts, and the water is my soul. So linking heart and soul here. Cool-tempered, level-headed, being able to. That's the challenge, right? Reacting appropriately, and speaking our own truths. How do we speak our truths, and do we accept that truth too to be as it is? That's what I feel more in this challenge, is really finding what's true in our hearts, the challenge here, and really striving to achieve it.
Mm-hmm.
Getting off our duff and saying, here, this is where I want to make changes.
Yeah, so, yeah, and it is. It's just that bigger push towards our goals, because one of the things with Saturn is that if it is what we call aspecting, meaning if it's aspecting any of your personal signs, which are your sun sign, your moon sign, or your rising or ascendant sign. So if Saturn is trining it, which is a very easy, it's there to help support you in those areas, or if it is opposing, which it's there to challenge you to learn. So not only are those personal planets important, but some of the inner planets are also very important. So Jupiter also plays an important role, knowing where Jupiter is in your chart, because Jupiter rules Pisces.
Yes.
And Jupiter is all about those goals and making those goals bigger and achieving those goals.
Right. And during this challenge, too, you'll be learning some very important lessons about yourself along the way. Like, there's important things to pick up here. It's about being objective and perceptive at the same time. And like I said, speaking your own truth is what I feel about that queen.
Yeah, and reality, again, because Pisces, that one of their planets that rule them are Neptune too, and so they tend to not always live in reality. They live in, illusion, and I don't even like to really think of it that way. I like to think it of as, it's kind of like when I use the word fantasy, to me fantasy doesn't mean something sci-fi that we see out, on TV or in the media or whatever. To me, fantasy is my ideal. This is what I want my ideal family to be. So if you have Saturn, let's say, in your fifth house, which Brett actually does, in your fifth house, or not your fifth house, your fourth house, I'm sorry, and it is in his fourth, that's about your family. So you might have some, as a Pisces ruled by Neptune, you might have some fantasies about what that looks like, or what your idealism of that would look like. But with this move of Saturn into Pisces, we're being asked to bring that down to reality now. Like,
Challenge to make it.
Yes,
right.
let's.
I always like the illusionary space they talk about for Pisces. That's my free open space to create, and that's where I can really just go off the plane and get out there. So it's not being lost and I can't figure out where I'm going. I'm actually finding stuff out there. So, and then also I like to share that with everybody else. I hope you all try to expand your mind and start, seeing other sides. Like, there's more than just going to work every day. The esoteric arts are so deep and so profound to be able to discover. That's why I also say you got to do a natal chart if you really want to know how these things are truly. Like, she's reading me today because of all these things. After this, we're going to discover where I'm going. But you guys need to take this journey for yourself and discover a natal chart, and let her interpret everything in where these are for you and how they're affecting you. It's really awesome, forward-looking stuff. And I'll tell you what, I've been tracking mine my whole life because of my mother, and it's spot on. And so just take that as it is. So the subconscious here, I don't know if I explained this. I have a yes and a no deck. In our subconscious, we got the yes. So whatever you want to manifest or whatever questions you came here today, you're getting the yes card, and it's right here in your subconscious, so it's almost like you know it. So I'm going to read the mother's star in here too. Well, and this Saturn, the mother, mother, the governor of law, the mother of ideas too. So the path that has led you to where you are today has been full of twists and turns. There may have been many times when you doubted yourself and lost faith in your guides. The mother star's appearance means you're coming to a place now where you can look back and see that every setback served a purpose, and every failure taught you a much-needed lesson. The strength, courage, and character you've gained along the way made you into a unique and resilient person. It's time to step up and embody your full potential. The mother star holds a cup and a sword. She wears a pentacle around her neck and is flanked by wands. Her journey and soul's exploration connects her in a balanced way to each suit of the minor arcana. And if she appears in a reading where you have a specific yes or no question, she represents a resounding yes. Her guide, the gentle three-eyed winged tiger, is also here to offer you assistance, vision, and strength as you embark on this new chapter of transformation.
Yeah, and how many times did you read the word taught there? Okay, so there you go. There's Saturn. Saturn is here to teach you. And let me just tell you, I always think about life kind of as the high road and the low road. So there are people that take heart to the things that life is trying to teach you, and they, try to do better, right? Or they try to change, or they try to clear, or they try to, right, exactly. They create boundaries, or they, learn how to cope, maybe, through your habits, because, for example, one habit might be, and this is very characteristic of a Pisces, is they like to escape, right? So maybe they go and they play video games, or they go and they drink, or they go and they binge on a new Netflix series. Well, that is not really what Saturn's here to teach us. Saturn is here to say, look, I'm putting this lesson in front of you, and I'm trying to teach you that you need to change. So we can take the high road and we can work on change that is going to long term bring us to what we call our destiny in your natal chart, or your north node, or your midhaven is for your career. All of those things, you know, if you don't pay attention to what Saturn's trying to teach you, and as it goes through this phase of Pisces with your emotions and boundaries and goals and finding your own individuality, then you're going to be running that low road and you're going to be escaping.
Right, and then the repercussions of not reacting, like I said, it comes for you anyway. So realizing that energy is there and understanding it, and what is it trying to teach you. And I always tell people, don't be so worried about the choices, because no matter what choice you make, you're going to end up where you're supposed to be anyways. So follow your heart, you know, say yes to yourself once in a while. If it's really pure and it's something you feel that you can achieve and it's for your best good and for your growth, you know, find the truth in that. That's the Queen of Swords here, is finding your true self, what the truth is to you, and going after it. I mean, this is...
Yeah. Well, I like to say is just like connect with your messy self. Like, you know, be messy. Like, it's okay. It's okay to say, I cry at everything, or I'm emotional. Like, we all have permission to acknowledge our messy self, but
Yes.
let's just don't stay in the messy spot.
Right.
That's escapism, and we're here to evolve as souls in this lifetime and to, you know, bring something to this world for ourselves and for those around us.
Well, and this is saying what brought us to this crossroad was all these events. So right now is the time to take that action. And so that's going to lead us right here into the action too. We've got the Magician, the great manifestor, in reverse here too. The biggest thing here is not seeing those things that are coming with Saturn. You know, totally ignoring the red flags and what it's trying to tell you. That is the thing you should be fearing the most. But here you should be looking at what's blocking you. And then your third eye, it's so many things that different people are keeping you from really seeing what your true potential is too. You got to understand, a magician has all the tools, but right now it's maybe being manipulated or trying to be forced in a situation. Someone could be forcing their thoughts on you, which has really got you in a place of panic, or in this Page of Wands, blaming or fighting, but it's distracting. But that's really what, to me, everything is distraction, keeping you from your true potential. Those are people, those are places, and just what the stars bring, but they're always trying to tell us something.
Right, right. And really even, you know, beyond our own individuality, if you think about the things that you hear in the news right now and around the world, I mean, this is going to be a couple of years of enlightenment, really. We're really shifting up, so to speak, in this level of consciousness. And that's why it's really important, why each of us individually don't just kind of walk away from it or hide from it, but participate in it.
Well, it's about staying in your own lane.
Yes.
Too, in this energy, like the Saturn is structured and restrictive in a way, but it's trying to guide you to your best self, or keeping you on your path, because it will redirect you if you're going the wrong way.
Yeah, it will.
It can be harder than some, and sometimes good too. I mean, like I said, how it affects us all is the aspirations of this, but the Magician here. And it's really, what are you ready to create and manifest now? But you're still doing this energy and discovery. Because this is a process. This doesn't just, I get it. And you've got to experience the bumps in the road right
well,
now.
2.5
Emotionally,
years.
too.
2.5 years is a lot. And, you know, if your sun sign is like an immutable sign, which Pisces is mutable, Gemini is mutable, Virgo,
Sagittarius.
yeah, and Sagittarius are all mutable signs. So if those are your sun sign, your moon sign, or your rising sign, Saturn's gonna, it's here. It's here
Right.
for you in the next 2 years.
Well, and really, so recent past, we got the Ace of Wands here. And this is about what are we going to manifest? These are about the new beginnings. There's got to be some things right now, some sparks that are setting new initiations or discovering of new passion. Because this is really leading into this heart space. Pisces is that I like my heart on my sleeve. Where's my truth in this situation? I want this new beginning. And I think these are opportunities too good to pass up coming up here in the future. With that,
Yeah.
this is our travel card too. So maybe some of you have been traveling and have connected with people. Maybe starting some new beginnings. We just came through the new year, so resolutions and hey, this is the way this year is going to go for some of you. Like creating your own spark is what's divine.
Well, and in all reality, we don't operate on a January to December calendar. That is the old Roman Catholic calendar. We do that in business, obviously, and taxes and whatever our lives entail. But the real new year is April 1st. That's the astrological year, April 1st to March 31st. So again, we are at an opportune time right now to be heading into a new era.
Oh, and Jupiter just shifted in December into Aries. It's a new cycle, and that's a big spark of energy right there, which is Ace of Wands, right? That's where things have started picking up. You know what I mean? It's amazing energy when you really look at it and understand it. So I love the future energy, the crossing energy. We got justice there, and this is really the karma. Truth, you seek what you sow, all that energy, so being truthful, staying balanced, and meeting those things that are equal to you, not settling for less or trying to grab more than you deserve. It is really trying to find that balance. As dealing with love too, Venus is the ruler of justice and the Libra, so air energy too. I love air energy for communications here and being truthful, honestly, right now. Standing up for your needs is what's important going forward, right? I mean, this is justice for us, standing up, and we're not all going to pass this test. I'm sorry to say that. Wherever you're at in your life, these things happen.
And with your natal chart too, if you become familiar with your natal chart and work with a professional regarding your natal chart, we can look at where Saturn was in the past 2.5 years, because when you talk about what comes around goes around, or karma, for example, for me, I had some planets in my second house, which my second house is money and values and how I build my resources. Well, I spent a lot of money over this last 2.5 years building this foundation that I'm looking, at launching through this next Pisces season of Saturn. But karma's going to come around. I can already feel it. It's going to say, maybe overspent a little bit in the last 2.5 years. And now we got to figure out how to, transition that and change that.
Right. Well, and justice too is cause and effect.
Yes.
So,
yes.
How you connect with that, showing integrity. And the more you put in, the more you get out. And also where you're failing, redirecting. So understanding all those things. We're all gonna, not everything is gonna go always 1,000% in the same direction. So
for me, it's just readjusting. I'm not gonna feel bad about it. I'm not gonna blame myself. It is what it was, and it may have been a learning lesson. May just have been what needed to happen in order to propel me forward. But it's more about, acknowledging.
Well, that's funny because our power card for the collective, the Hierophant. This is the divine and guided one, and this is the teacher. This is the great teacher too, and it's very rigid. And it's about conforming too. Saturn is trying to conform you. You can't get outside of Saturn. And it would knock you right back into place. So understanding you have guidelines, staying in your own lane is important. Maybe sticking to some traditional stuff that's more safe too. I feel like there's something here to keep us more grounded with the Hierophant, because it does deal with Taurus. Again, linking to love. And I think the heart thing is, what structure and knowledge can we bring to our situations? Yeah. What balances? And can we teach?
Searching within your soul too. For me, it's like, yeah, and yeah, and Saturn in Pisces is the perfect time to do that. It's the time to go within and to teach yourself, or bring things to the world that will teach the world.
Right.
Where we need to change at.
Right. So our environment right now, and this is like so right, competitive debate, the Five of Wands here. There's almost so much noise. And again, it's just distraction to me. There's no debate on what our truth is in this situation. And staying within those boundaries, but also staying true to what our goals are. And not misusing our power. I mean, there's some of the stuff with the magician in reverse, the people that want to manipulate and misuse it, or not guide us in the right way. But knowing along the way there's always going to be some type of force here, conflict to deal with. It's always a delicate dance. And it does also, sometimes those debates help you expand. You start to learn other things from the things that are keeping you from moving forward. So this is around us right now.
Oh.
When we could be debating on where we want to go going forward with this. What's justice here? What's true? What's our truth going forward?
Right, and we're going to see Pluto is also going to be moving into Aquarius later this month, and that's again that card to me where, we've been collectively as a world, in our government, in our places of work, and just so much noise, just so much, too much, and yet there are some real issues that need to be resolved.
Right.
And Pluto's going to force that on us too. And with Aquarius, it might look very different. Than it's ever looked in the past. We need to find new, maybe technology, maybe,
well, and that Oracle said, there's new technology coming, but it's almost like technology is advanced beyond our capabilities.
Yeah, what about the whole AI thing, right? Yeah.
There's just all this competition. Maybe competition not only for your time, your space. You're competing for yourself too. I mean, all things being fair, fighting for yourself and what's right. I like the Leo energy in that, because Leo lines up with strength, and the strength to win the war, win the battle, win the debate. I'm the competitor. I'm going to win the situation. Because you don't go at it unless you want to win, if you ask me.
True. But when I think about Leo and strength, I think about their silent strength. Because when you think about like the lion, right? Yes, they may be aggressive when provoked, but they have a lot of inner strength, a lot of quiet strength.
Oh, and you just look at them, you don't want to mess with them.
Right.
It's like, wow, do I know what I'm going up against here? And that goes both ways, that energy. What are you battling? Something, So, hopes and fears. You got judgment in the reverse. Right? Lining up with Pluto and Scorpio energy. And it's really this people not having the awareness to deal with the situations. I mean, it is the judgment ready to be happening. And have you learned the lessons? I mean, this is really, that's what I love about the hope and the fears and the judgment right here. Are you ready to accept because that's how you go forward. You got to accept how it is so you can awaken and really assess where you are, so you can, this next cycle that starts up should be a new beginning if you make the right choices and you fall within what it's trying to tell you. It'll lead you on this path of expansion. Like I said, the Queen of Swords is there with the hand of truth. That's what you're searching for, justice in your future, balance coming. Anything else you want to add with like Pluto and transferring on the 23rd?
Yeah.
Transformation too with Scorpio in that sign.
Yeah. yeah, I can't stress enough, if you really become in tune and pay attention, not only to your friends and family around you, but your own thoughts and emotions, and you know, the world in general, that something has got to change. And if we take it right down just to ourselves, our individuality, we need to, you know, actually under this full moon of Virgo too, at the same time that Saturn goes into Pisces, Virgo is it rules the sixth house, and the sixth house is all about your habits, your physical body, your health, your routines, your you know. So I just think that there's just such a huge transition that's going to be going forward, and that individually we need to acknowledge that, and we need to find better ways. We need to find better ways to take care of ourselves. We need to find better ways to have good boundaries. We need to find you know, better ways to serve our families or our communities. Um,
Well, Judgment in the reverse
and Pluto, yeah, Pluto's going to hit hard on that one. It's
Right.
gonna put all that in
Pluto
everybody's
doesn't move
face.
around.
That's right. That's right.
So in Judgment in the reverse too, it's ignoring your higher calling. It's like you're not listening to what your own soul is trying to tell you. So it's trying to get you to break something here, habits or
Yeah,
those things that keep
in my
us.
mind, all I keep hearing in my own head is just the high road and the low road. Like, anytime you're questioning, you know, why is this happening to me, or you become emotional over a situation, or somebody is crossing your boundaries, you know, that's Saturn. That's Saturn, you know, forcing some kind of lesson, or, um, and so then you have the decision, am I going to take the high road, or am I going to take the low road? And I just really think that if you can keep that in your mind with everything that happens to you,
Right.
you're gonna get through this next 2.5 years of Saturn in Pisces.
Well, right. And so for the overall outcome right now, we've got Queen of Wands in the reverse. Okay. She's that person that's only dealing with their own self-serving motives or what serves her the best, but they're not always the best things. Um, you know, it's that people that want to have their cake and eat it too, or the people that actually question their self-value, their worthiness to be here. You know, a lot of this is, all of us need to improve our awareness and our self-confidence so that we can rise above this energy, and not be so temperamental with things. A lot of this too is being able to face the consequences for being the Queen of Wands in reverse, being that bully, or even having issues and crises that we seem just about outside of our control, trying to be able to control our anger and jealousy. Because that's the biggest thing I see in the world, is just all this anger and jealousy and issues that just really are keeping us all from moving forward. Manipulation, we got the Magician here, really over the top in reverse, trying to trick us, but Saturn is going to
Yeah,
set you straight.
and really, in all reality too, you know, in this first year, now that you say that, I'm thinking that these cards are really kind of a precursor, and they're kind of like a warning, I guess, so to speak, or just you know, information for us to garner. Because in this first year, Saturn's actually going to retrograde, and it's going to come back out of Pisces for a little bit. It's really not going to completely station into Pisces, because it's going to go back and forth a little bit until the first of the year, the first of 2024. So yeah, and I kind of see, because remember, to me, wands means action, right? It means fire. It means like, almost like, I think of them like as magic wands. Like, if I could just magically make this happen, then I would with my wand. But the fact that it's the queen, and the fact that she's in reverse, that's what made me think about, okay, so see, we're and why this video is going to be so important to all of you, that we're really just touching the iceberg
Right.
of what you're going to need to know going forward in this next year.
Well, and I always look at the Queen of Wands when she's in the right space. She has control of that emotional fire, but she can use it to really get down to the truth and get things burnt to where they need to be. but it is really taking control of your own personal power and not letting people get inside and control your power. And so really this is some of the expansion there that is realize our own potential here. Because right now some of us a lot of us are lost in so much.
Right, and you know,
It
when
makes us mad and distracts us from.
And another thing I really want to put out there too for you to think about is when you think about your own boundaries and creating your own boundaries, which Pisces need to work a lot on that. And Saturn's going to ask them to work a lot on that. But it's not, remember, it's not all about you. Remember, other people are out there trying to create their own boundaries too. So we also need to take cues from other people too. You know, when other people are reacting to us in certain ways, well, maybe that's them setting up their own boundaries, either intentionally or unintentionally. So that's going to be another thing that we're going to need to work on, not only our own boundaries, but taking cues of other people's boundaries and how we need to respect those.
Well, and that's the biggest thing I always like to say is being able to take action confidently and also showing compassion with that action that you take. Not impulsive action. That's the one that causes the arguments, causes the conflicts, and causes the potential of breakdown and really stagnant, no movement, injustice, balance, not being able to move forward.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
All right, so we'll have one more final card. This is my little sweary affirmation card that'll be fun to send you guys. Thanks again for tuning in for this. Please like and subscribe. We want to do this again.
And I'm really excited. I hope that I can connect with some of you. You can find me at ladyorising.com. You can follow me on any of the socials, and it's lady_o_rising on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I try to put out some thought-provoking quotes on my Twitter, so you might find that kind of fun if you're into Twitter.
We'll put your links in I'll have her links in the description box so you'll know how to get a hold of my
phone. Because I really, I'm personally right now feeling a lot of energy out there towards, connecting with people and digging into their chart and showing them specifically what you and I are trying to communicate today.
So our final, and this really lines up too with this whole reading, is breathe in the good shit and breathe out the bullshit.
Oh, I love it.
It's like being able to use your filter to say, yeah, this ain't right, and then how I can process that into something good, or saying, I don't stand for this. It's just, you're not going to pull this past me. That boundaries, you know what I mean? And really realizing self-awareness.
Yes. Oh, that, again. I think some of these cards really hit the good points today.
Well, thank you all. We'll see you in the future. Like and subscribe and share and all that good stuff. Leave your comments too if you want future stuff you're looking at. Help us develop this, because this is, like I said, shooting from the hip. Aquarius and Pisces here. Thank you, Cindy.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Bye now.
Bye.